Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Talk Time. I'm Meredith McCarthy. I'm going to be your guide along with Teresa Saunders, who's going to join us on this conversation. We've started a new series all about the frequency of thoughts, so I hope you're going to buckle up and enjoy this one. Have you ever noticed how a singular thought can shift your entire mood? What if I told you that your thoughts emit frequency that influence not only your mind, but also your body and your environment as well? Hi, Teresa. How are you?
Hi, Meredith. I'm good, thank you. And what about yourself?
Yep, pretty good. When we're looking at that idea of frequency of thoughts affecting things, what pops into your mind?
How a single comment from somebody can actually change your wonderful day if it's a negative comment, or it can change your day to being something fantastic just by the comment that somebody has given you.
Absolutely. And I think talking about commentary, we have our own internal commentary, don't we?
We certainly do, yes. Yep. And I think we're our worst critics sometimes.
I think that's one of the major things that people come in for, really, is negative thinking.
Yes, yeah. And it unfortunately, the human being, we do tend to aim at the negative side and forget about the positive things that we've often done within our lives.
So really, it's important to shift that negative and move it into more positive frequency of thinking, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, for sure. And that's what beauty of hypnotherapy, we like flipping that negative into positivity.
Absolutely. So if someone comes in and they're going, I don't want to feel stressed, I don't want to feel burdened, I don't want to feel angry every time, what's going on for them, right? Is they're focusing on what they don't want, but perhaps not really getting clear about what they do want, how they would do things to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of this can actually stem from the past, where quite often, maybe inadvertently, people have said to you, you're never going to be good enough to do that, or why have you got such high expectations? And we hold on to those beliefs, and they impact our being and our thoughts and our emotions as we move through life.
Absolutely. So when we're thinking about that idea of thoughts affecting things in our environment, if we're in a grumpy mood, quite often people get into the accidental habit of believing that they're going to just have a shitty day, right?
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what if it wasn't going to be all day? What if it was just a shitty moment that will pass very quickly?
And that's one of the things I do with my clients. I mean, it's amazing that you can be having a shitty day, and then you get out the car and somebody says, "Hi, how are you doing today?" and gives you this really wonderful smile, and that changes your mood completely, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Smiles can be as contagious as frowns, right?
Mm.
So if we go out there and we've got the shiny smile on, we're more likely to get some smiles back at us.
For sure. And doesn't it make you feel better?
Mm,
Even if your day wasn't particularly bad, if somebody smiles at you and you notice that smile, it does um we say it does change your mood. It is infectious. It does make you feel happier and lighter and brighter.
mm. On that note, a lot of people are lost in their devices and they're not really having the same social interactions, and they might not be getting that smile quota up, right?
This is certainly a thing of the day, unfortunately, or the world of the day, I should say. Um, only today, I was out for a walk, and this lady is just on her phone as she's walking along, scrolling along, and then she's sort of misfooted. And she's still, when she corrected that, she's still looking down on the phone, and it's like, well, maybe if you paid a bit of attention to where you're actually placing your feet on the path,
Mm.
that might not have happened. It can't be comfortable, and I think that's where a lot of habits and beliefs come from now, is from that social media, and
Yeah.
there is so much negative information out there.
Great metaphor too of being on the path and paying attention, right? Staying awake at the wheel. Because I
True.
think, yeah, it's important that clients really are paying attention to the thoughts that they're frequently focusing on, and the quality of that thought, because that can definitely affect how they turn up to that next moment. And if they want to be their best, most vibrant self, then the thoughts that they're thinking before time really count.
And we can notice the emotions if we're actually mindful. We tune into ourselves. We can notice the thoughts that we're having. We don't have to react to them. We can notice it and just allow it to go, allow it to pass.
Mm. I like it as an opportunity actually for my clients to sort of stop and ask, does that thought serve me anymore? Is it even real? Is it fact or fiction?
Is it my belief or is it someone else's? Where did it come from?
Yeah. So, just not shoving it down and thinking, oh, yeah, I won't deal with that. It can be really a great opportunity to do some fine tuning and audit it and edit it. Do I want to keep saying that saying, believing that belief, or do I need in this moment to put that in the past and to start to reiterate what I really want, the doing script?
And I mean, I'm sure you've used this one. It's a common metaphor that we actually use along, that we've got our backpack with all our negative beliefs on, and as we're walking along, we're throwing out those rocks, those stones, and letting them go. It's just one way that we can actually release those negative thought patterns.
Mm. And as hypnotherapists, I think we're really equipped well to help fine-tune that person's mind journey, how they're talking themselves in or out of something.
And looking at your environment as well, because we do talk ourselves in and out of things, but it could be something that we need to simply change in our environment that can have an effect on the way that we feel and see things.
Mm. Yeah, you were talking about art therapy and sound. Do you want to share that with people?
So years ago, I used to do art therapy, and we used to cover this big wall with a tarpaulin and then put paper up, and we put on different styles of music. And when it was light and airy and floaty music, maybe orchestral or just something that's uplifting, you would literally see the artist painting along and like dancing with it, and that would come out. Even the colors would be bright or pastel and uplifting sort of colors and patterns. And then when you turn down to something that was a bit more heavy metal or sad music, you would have a completely different pattern, heavy and dark, and completely different creativity came to mind. So it really was quite interesting how powerful just that subtle change of music affects somebody's well-being and mind thoughts.
Yeah, 100%. And, when you're thinking about experimenting, have you noticed yourself when you're in a bit of a mood, putting on certain types of music over other music that might amplify that mood or pacify it? Like, are you actively using music to calm yourself? So many people do come across, the real art therapy and sort of the music therapy side of things, where what we're hearing, what we're creating, all of these really do affect our frequency of being. It's also, how do we express something that's been locked up? Can we dance it out? Can we paint it out? Can we sort of sing it out? What can we do to energetically release it from ourselves?
Now, people might be wondering about why we're talking about frequency, but I mean, we are, I forget the percentage, which is about 93 or 97% fluid, aren't we, human beings? There's a lot of water in
It's about
us.
it's about 80, but it varies depending on
80.
how old you are. I think when we get older, we shrivel.
More fluid, puffiness. But with that, if you think about water and the way when you drop a stone and you get that ripple effect and it travels through, well, then that's the same with human beings. When we have something happens, it drops in and the frequency changes, it ripples through.
So, shift your thoughts will help you to shift your frequency of feeling in your body. So that mind-body connection is so important. And I think as hypnotherapists, that's what we do really well, is we journey people through a different mindset and helping them to reinforce that different frequency of thinking and then behavior that follows.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the ways that we naturally do that sort of thing on a day-to-day thing is if we're having a bad day and we think that, that's it. That day, I knew when I got up this morning it was going to be a bad day. And then somebody by passing might say, oh, you look wonderful today. You look really pretty. Or I love the outfit that you're wearing. And your day changes because somebody's giving you a compliment and you sort of start looking at things in a different way.
For sure. This is the thing. It doesn't take much, actually, to shift a mindset. We just need to be active often, more awake at the wheel of what mindset we want to build. So exercising that muscle of intention, and then paying attention for a bit. Think about, am I using music? Could I use art? Could I use poetry, or talk something out with a friend to release whatever is going on so I can then move into what I need to do next? But even that thinking, like I was saying, to audit and edit it, and then reinforce the thought you want winning. Let's end on the high note of thinking how you want things to go. I want to be relaxed. I want to be confident. I want to be calm.
Yeah, and not going back into that negative belief. I don't want this. I don't want that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. So that's a little bit of a teaser into our series of that idea of frequency and thoughts. So we're going to be exploring this in more detail over the coming weeks, aren't we?
We are, for sure. So please tune in and click that like button, share, and subscribe to hear more details from us.
And if you're interested to train to become a clinical hypnotherapist, we do have an online option where there are live classes. There's 48 of them actually, that takes you through a 1,000-hour diploma course, but you'll come away from that having so much more knowledge to go out there and help people if that's something that you've been searching for. So check out the website nzach.ac.nz. Love to have you on board. And if you have any questions, give us a line, comment down below. Also, what are the takeaways that maybe you've got out of today's talk time? Are there some aha moments, things that you might shift or change? Let us know.
And do go away and listen to some of the music. Put on some different styles of music. And I'd love to hear your comments on how that actually made you feel, whether it did change your mood or, how you felt after that.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining me today, Teresa, and look forward to talking again next week on this amazing topic. And I was so excited to come up with the series. I was buzzing, actually. It should be a really interesting journey as we segue through the different tangents of how we apply thoughts as frequencies to our hypnotherapy practice. So Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.